Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. And before we get started on our clairvoyance video, I have a story I need to tell you. So I started my business recently, started doing sessions, me and Susan, my business partner, and one of my clients enjoyed her session so much that she felt moved to pay for someone else's session, and she is allowing me to raffle that off to all of you, my viewers. So if you are interested in having one of my healing sessions or one of my Akashic Records sessions, you can go to my website, orangelightenergy.com. You can take a look at the description of all the sessions there. Pick one out. There's going to be one winner. So if you're interested in getting a free session from me, go ahead and just include it in the comment section. Drop a comment for this video. Say, I would like a free session, and I'll include you in the raffle. I'm gonna let it go for 3 days. At the end of 3 days, I'm gonna let Metatron pick a winner. So he's gonna pick whoever needs this the most for whatever reason. He always brings me the people he needs to bring me. So it's very exciting. The client that I had, her name is Michelle Arant. Michelle, I'm saying your name wrong. I know I am. Beautiful soul. I am very lucky that I don't know if it's this business. I don't know if it's just my luck or Metatron or what, but all of the clients, all the people I've been interacting with are just beautiful souls. It makes it just the most amazing job. So I'm very lucky for that. So there's that. So if you're interested in a free session, and send me a comment for this video, and then in a few days I'll announce who Metatron picked. And I think that's all I have to tell you about that. The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys is that I think it's in the for YouTube, there's a heading that says channels on it that you can look at under my channel, and I've listed other channels that I personally follow that have been beneficial to me, and I thought that would be an important thing to do for all of you, because as somebody who channels and who's very in tune with Metatron and divine energy, it's very easy, or easier at least, for me to distinguish genuine, valid energy that people are bringing through. And so I want to give you guys the opportunity to link up with those individuals if you feel compelled to, and just as me verifying, me validating with what I have to verify and validate with, that these are genuine individuals who are providing accurate information. So there's that. But let's get into clairvoyance. Can you believe we are doing a clairvoyance video? I can't. If this was not Metatron's idea, I don't know how we would do this. Okay. Clairvoyance. So I'm going to have you do activities along with me on this one. Ready for this? So right now, I'm going to have you think about something in your mind. And you can close your eyes, you can leave your eyes open, whichever way feels comfortable. You can try both. So I want you to think of a table. Small, simple, boring table. Think of a table. And once you have that in your mind, I want you to take a red apple and just set that down on the table. So you can see the table, you can see your red apple. You got that? So that is visualization. That is you taking your energy and pushing it out and creating something in the energetic space. This is how people manifest. This is how all kinds of things are done. So visualization uses the exact same equipment as clairvoyance. So when you are pushing that energy out to create the table and the apple, you're using your third eye. Did you know that? So this is the exact same equipment we're going to be using for clairvoyance. It's just a little bit different. So with visualization, you are controlling the image, right? You've decided what it is and you're pushing it out there. With clairvoyance, you're going to step back and let the information come to you more. So first, I want to talk about protection, just briefly. I don't use protection procedures when I do clairvoyance because I already know Metatron is the one giving me all my information. He is the gatekeeper to everything I get. Not that I can't get demonic interference, because I absolutely can. But I know the difference with him. If you don't already have a guide you're working with nonstop every day, or even if you do, I'm just going to go over this just so you have this in your back pocket. So you want to know who is controlling your visual. You want to know who you are connecting with, because it's just as easily as an angel can give you a clairvoyant information, something of a lower vibration can give you information, and you want to make sure you're getting the right information, of course. So just what you'll want to do is you always want to be clear who you're working with. So in my case, it's Metatron. You might have a favorite guide, a favorite angel. If you don't know who to use Metatron. But you can ask anyone you like to work with you. I would stick with an Archangel or an Ascended Master, though. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use Metatron. And so you can just say something like, I'm going to practice my clairvoyance now. Metatron, or whoever you're working with, please assist me. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about clairvoyance, and then we're going to practice it. We can do this. Okay. So back to letting the video in your mind kind of run on its own instead of forcing the picture. So when you first start practicing this clairvoyance, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to have you do. We're not doing it yet, but what I'm going to have you do is we're going to go back to the visualization. We're going to take the table. We're going to take the apple. So we're pushing out the information. We're going to look at it, and then we're going to stand back. And we're going to be receptive, and we're just going to look at our apple on the table. And we're just going to see what happens. And we're not going to push anything out in our mind. We're just going to be receptive with it. And so this will be our first clairvoyance practice. Not yet, though. Let's talk about what could happen when you do this, because there are some common reactions, and I want you to know what's happening now before you do it. So one of two things could happen here. You could see something new start happening to the apple, and you might resist what's happening because you want to control the narrative. So you're looking at the table, you're looking at the apple, and the apple explodes. And you're like, that wasn't supposed to happen. Put the apple back, put the apple back. You might feel that way. So I want you to just be aware of any resistance feelings you have to what you're viewing. It's probably not such a big deal right now with the apple and the table and us practicing, but later down the line, if you are using clairvoyance and you are obtaining important information, you're getting past life information, something that impacts yourself and something that impacts somebody else, there are a lot of times where they have to show you some really difficult things, and if you aren't receptive to it, if you're trying to change the narrative, you're not going to get the right information. So it's just a manner of getting you in the right headspace while you're having clairvoyance, while you're using clairvoyance, so that you don't try to control the image, because we can do that. We can resist the image, and you don't want to do that. You want to be receptive to it. So we learn to relax now. So the second thing that could happen when we do this exercise is you can see something happen to the apple and you're receptive to it. It happens and you're like, you know what? I just made that up. It was me. I did. Like, you will think that you made it happen. So it's a very common reaction to seeing something clairvoyant. So if that happens, like, let's, you're watching the apple, it explodes, and you're like, well, I'm the one who made the apple explode. Just keep watching. Keep watching your table and just see what happens. See if something else shows up, someone else shows up, the table does something. Just keep focusing in on that vision to get more information. So if we do this exercise and you don't see anything, I don't want you to immediately go to, oh my gosh, I knew it, I'm not clairvoyant, I can't do this. Everybody's clairvoyant. Everybody can be clairvoyant. All of us have equal access to all divine gifts. All of us are meant to be clairvoyant, clairaudient, where we can hear, where we can channel, clairsentient, any of the senses. We are divine beings. They are divine beings. It is supposed to be very easy for us to communicate with each other. We're just stuck in a 3D body. We have not been trained how to do this, so it feels really difficult and really foreign, but it's insanely simple. I promise. It's difficult while we're adjusting to it. And I just don't want you to feel like, oh, it's not happening for me right now, this second. It doesn't belong to me. No. Maybe it's just not right this second. Maybe you need to keep practicing it. Maybe it's a year from now. Who knows? I just want to throw that out there. So you ready to practice this? I'm ready. Okay, so you can, let me check my notes. So make sure when you're practicing this that you don't have like a TV on in the background or like people running around. Do it in a space where you can actually focus on this for a moment and you're not distracted. You can, like I said, you can close your eyes or you can leave them open. I personally leave my eyes open now. When I first started getting visions, I was meditating, my eyes were closed. Okay, let's practice this. So let's think about the table. I'm going to think about my table. So I have my table in my mind, and I'm going to put my red apple on my table. And let's just be quiet for a few moments and see what happens, okay? So what happened? What happened to your apple? Did anything happen to your apple? If something happened to the apple, this is your first experience with clairvoyance. Keep practicing. If the apple just sat there, keep trying this exercise. It only takes a minute at a time. You could do this several times a day, no problem, if you really wanted to. Once your apple starts doing things regularly, try removing the table and the apple. So we only did that initially. We only pushed out information initially to kind of help you focus on that space. But once you get used to putting your mind and your focus into that space, you can remove the images you're projecting out and you can just look into that blank space. That, for me, it's like I call it like a TV screen, because for me, it's literally upper right hand corner of my vision, and it's like a small screen that gives me information. So ultimately you want to get to that place where you're not having to push out information to focus there. This is just kind of the starter exercise. When I am receiving, and you can see because I keep looking based on where I am right now, this spot right here is my clairvoyant screen spot. And normally when I'm really focusing in on that, I don't look at the spot dead on. I'm kind of looking off to the side of where the spot is. My eyes are kind of more relaxed, more out of focus, and that helps me tune into that better. So I just want to throw that out there in case it helps anyone. You can also, like I mentioned earlier, experience clairvoyance during meditation. So for me, clairvoyance during meditation looks entirely different than clairvoyance with my eyes open. So when I'm in meditation, so my eyes are closed, everything's pitch black, so I have a ginormous black screen. So my screen is bigger, my screen is black, my screen takes up my entire vision, and I haven't tried it yet, but I don't think, my experience has been I've had a harder time getting visuals in meditation than out of meditation. Just me. Most people, I think, have an easier time in meditation. But in meditation, because I have that pitch black screen as my background, everything that comes in is the most brilliant, beautiful, luminous colors. Because it has to be. If it's not luminous, I can't see it because it's pitch black. But the colors that come through, it's like the green and the blue and the indigo. The colors don't look like that here on Earth. It's like the way the colors are supposed to look. But anyways, they're extremely vibrant, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And when I'm watching something in meditation, it's like a video. Like, it is high detail. Things come in and out and things morph and change, and I don't control it whatsoever. It just does what it wants. When I'm doing clairvoyance and my eyes are open and I'm just, chatting with someone, and then I try to use my clairvoyance, I don't get a lot of detail. I get really generalized, minimalist ways of communicating the information. Like, Metatron will just show me just enough so that I understand who these people are, what's taking place. I don't get a huge level of detail, and it's more choppy. It's like, he'll show me this, okay, and then this, and he'll just keep popping up images that piece together. When I'm in meditation, it's this glorious, detailed video that it's a more beautiful experience, but it takes a lot more work for me to get into a meditative state, at least. Yeah, so that's my experience with clairvoyance, both ways. Try it, you guys. Try it. You have no idea what can happen until you try it. If something happened to your apple, or even if nothing happened to your apple, tell me in the comments. I'm really curious. Also, if you're interested in the free reading, leave me a comment, okay? I will see you guys next time.